if you're watching this video, then you probably struggle with procrastination, or else why would you even click on this video? And procrastination is something that we all deal with, obviously on different levels though. And I used to be the person who never did their work, always would procrastinate, leave something to the last minute, even be late on submitting my assignments, studying for exams, posting YouTube videos, whatever you could think of. But then I only stopped procrastinating when I first learned that procrastination is actually a habit. And people actually don't know that. Just like every other bad habit you have in your life, procrastination is also a habit. And so in order to break the habit of procrastination, then we need to understand what a habit is, how it works, why it happens, so that we can break the bad habit and then even replace it with a good habit. Because if you know how a habit works, then you can break bad habits and then build good habits. And so the habit loop, as described by James Clear in Atomic Habits, goes through 4 stages. And so you have the first stage, which is the cue. And then you have the craving, and then the response and the reward. So number 1, cue. Number 2, craving. Number 3, response. Number 4, reward. And so for procrastination, the cue is going to be the trigger, right? And especially for procrastination, it's probably going to be something with stress, thinking about the task, or you're just bored and you don't want to do the task, or you're sad and you don't feel like doing the task because you're sad, or you're angry and you're pissed off at something that happened in your day and you just don't feel like doing the task. And so the trigger, no matter what the habit is usually linked to an emotion. And that's what triggers the whole habit loop to actually complete and restart and reset. And so, like we said, for procrastination, stress is probably the most likely trigger. Because, you're stressed thinking about like how much work you have to do, and then you're like, I can't do this, it's too stressful, right? And so, if the cue is the stress, then what's the craving? The craving is some type of instant gratification, right? Just a quick sense of, just a quick dopamine rush so that you can feel some sense of relief, some sense of accomplishment, right? And so how do you fulfill that craving, right? And that's where the response comes in. And that's when we start playing our video games, start going on social media, we start binge eating. Even for some of us, astaghfirullah, we start fapping, right? And that's just to fulfill our craving, to just get that quick dopamine rush. And so the response then yields the reward, which is that quick sense of relief or that sense of accomplishment. Why else do we play video games? Because we get that leveling up sense of accomplishment. You get a small sense of relief, a small sense of accomplishing, and you kind of actually feel proud about yourself for leveling up in the game. Instead of actually leveling up in your own life, why don't you treat yourself or your life as a video game and level up in that domain instead? And so that's exactly what we're going to work on. And so now that we understand how a habit is started, how it goes through, and exactly how it works and why it works, then we can stop some of the aspects of the habit loop so that it doesn't happen again. Because the more that you actually go through the cue, craving, reward, response, reward, then there's a positive feedback loop in your brain that is telling you to just keep doing it, because it feels nice, right? The binge eating feels nice because it makes you forget about the stress, it makes you forget about the emotion, the sadness, the anger, the depression, whatever you're dealing with. And so if you imagine the habit as a funnel, right? Where it starts really wide and goes narrow, right? Let's say the cue, right? It happens pretty much 100% of the time. And then the craving you get maybe 80% of the time. And then you actually follow up with the reward maybe 40% of the time, 50% of the time. And then you get the reward. You follow up with the response, which is 40% of the time. And then the reward, you get less, right? And so if you break any step of the funnel, right? For all you guys that are into marketing and ads and whatever, if you break any step and ruin any step of the funnel, then you're not going to get to the reward. You're not going to get to the end result. And so you're going to stop that positive feedback loop in your brain. And that way your brain's not going to keep telling you to keep doing it, keep eating, keep binge eating, keep playing video games, keep going on social media, because it won't feel good. And so the easiest way is to actually just break the queue. And so let's say you never felt the stress about the task anymore. Then how much are you likely to procrastinate, especially in the long run, right? Because even when you're going to start a fight against the procrastination, it's going to be hard because it's really wired into your brain. And so let's use neuroplasticity, changing your brain structure and wiring to our benefit. And over time, we're going to be less vulnerable to actually procrastinate. And so what I want you to do is whatever goal you're trying to get to, like let's say you're procrastinating on getting to your goal of going to the gym and actually, let's say you're just trying to get crazy muscle, you're trying to get lean, you're trying to get to 10% body fat, or you're trying to build 20 pounds of muscle. Let's say that's your big goal right now, like your yearly goal probably, right? And so, yeah, let's say your 2024 goal, or whatever year you're watching this, let's say it was to build 20 pounds of muscle. Or let's say it was to freaking make 10K a month online, right? Or let's say it's to get a 4.0 GPA, right? It could be anything. It could be all of them, actually. You might have all those goals, and it's the end of 2024 right now, and you're not getting to any of them. And so what if you just made the stress just a little bit less by making those goals a bit smaller? So I'm not saying don't strive for the 10K a month, but split them into monthly goals. So instead of being, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but by December 31st, 2024, I need to make 10K a month online in my agency or on my content, right? Instead of that, maybe be like, okay, so the first month, a month from now, I'm going to make $200 a month, right? That would make it less. And another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about setting goals is that stop just striving to get to outcome-based goals. Because outcome-based goals are stuff that you can't really control all the time, especially with like strict deadlines, like, okay, by the end of 2024, I need to make this, right? You can't control that. What about instead of the 10K a month, you said, okay, I'm doing 100 outreach messages a day for my agency, or one YouTube upload a day for my YouTube, or once a week, twice a week. Or for your grades, is I'm gonna study every day, an hour every day. Or for the gym, I just went to the gym 5 times a week for every week of the year. You can control an input-based goal over an output-based goal. So stop just setting such unrealistic expectations for things you can't even control, when instead you can make an input-based goal which you can control, and if you fail to do that, then it's your responsibility, right? But if you don't make 10K a month, then you can't really blame yourself. How are you supposed to get there? But if you need to post twice a week, or you need to send 100 messages a day, then you know exactly what to do. All you have to do is just get to doing it, right? And so if you're trying to build that 20 pounds of muscle, then you really goal, instead of being, I just want 20 pounds of muscle, just change it to, I want to go to the gym 250 days of the year. So 250 workouts in 365 days. And then you break it down to a month goal. And so instead of 250 workouts a year, it's probably around, 20 workouts, like 22 workouts, 21 or 22 workouts per month, right? And then you break the monthly goal into an even smaller goal. So instead of 22 workouts a month, it's probably between 5 and 6 workouts a week, right? And then when you break the weekly goal into a daily goal, it's like, okay, I go every day of the week except for like a Sunday or Saturday, that's my rest day, right? And so how much easier is it we went from, I want to build 20 pounds of muscle, to now just saying, I'm going to go to the gym every day, except for one rest day in the week. How much easier is it? How much less stressful is it to just think about getting to your goal? And you can apply that for any other big goal that you have in your life. So instead of saying, I'm going to get a 4.0 GPA, just say, I'm going to do notes for every class I have throughout the whole year. I'm going to study a week before all my tests throughout the whole year. And yeah, and then you crunch that into smaller goals, where all the way comes down to I'm gonna study 1 hour every day. That could be studying for a test. That could be rewriting your notes for a lecture or a class that you went to. It could be reading some textbook. But just setting the goal of 1 hour minimum a day is so much less stressful than also just thinking about that. I need a 4.0 GPA. I need an A plus, whatever it is, right? And so it's a lot easier and less stressful. And I know on top of that, even when I used to implement this, I still used to procrastinate a bit, right? Especially when I wasn't really hitting that daily goal or that weekly goal of like, I need to go to the gym 5 times a week. Like I look back, I'm like, okay, I only went 3 days. Now it's stressful. I feel like I'm falling behind. And then I just bun it, right? I'm like, you know what? I'll just get back to it. I'll start November 1st or December 1st. I'll just, next Monday, yeah? New week, new me. And so another thing that I implemented that's also from Atomic Habits is the 2-minute rule. And so let's say your goal was to read 1 hour a day, right? Or 30 minutes a day, right? Let's say we crunched those big goals and we split them off into daily goals so that we reduce the stress. Let's say now that instead of saying I want to read for 1 hour a day, what if you just made it I want to read for 2 minutes a day? But you might be saying, but no, 2 minutes is not enough to get to my goal. I need to read 1 hour a day, or I need to make 30 minutes a day. But just thinking about I only have to read for 2 minutes a day is so much less stressful, such a smaller barrier to entry to actually do the task. And because realistically, when you actually start reading and you're past 2 minutes, are you really going to stop at 2 minutes? Just like, okay, I'm done the task. The thing is, some days you're only going to have 10 minutes to read. And so if your goal was to read 1 hour, then you're not going to achieve the goal. You're going to have the sense of guilt and shame that you didn't finish the task. You're going to go to your habit tracker. You're going to want to tick it off, but you didn't because you didn't finish the 1 hour. And then you're going to see that hole in your week for your weekly tracker. It's like, okay, I didn't finish my goals, man. I'm stupid, whatever. You're going to have that negative feeling, the pessimism, and then it's just going to mess up with your goals in general. But in fact, you actually did a good habit. You were reading for 10 minutes, which most people won't do. But then you have negative feelings towards that. And so if you had that 2-minute goal instead for that day, you could only read for 10 minutes, then you would have ticked off the habit. You would have been proud that you've actually finished the task. Right? And so it eliminates so much of the stress thinking about the task, when you make a 2-minute rule. So again, this can apply for anything else. So studying, you can say, okay, let's study for 10 minutes every day. Realistically, when you're 10 minutes in, you're basically in flow mode. You're getting into actually doing some deep work. And so you're not going to stop after 10 minutes. But if you had to stop, then you would have accomplished the goal. You still, regardless, did something positive, and you're actually being productive in your day. The thing is, 90% of the time, you won't stop at that 2 minutes. You won't stop at the 10-minute rule, the 2-minute rule, right? And so basically, I say just make the 2-minute rule, or you can even do like a 10% of each habit. So let's say you want to go to the gym an hour every day. Just make it 10%. Let's just say I need to go 6 minutes, right? Or let's say I need to do 1 exercise in the gym every day, or the days that you have to go. Again, once you actually finish the set or the exercise, you're not going to stop there. You're going to go to the next exercise and the next exercise. But the day where you're just not feeling it, you're feeling so tired, so sore, so like groggy, so you're not feeling energetic or whatever, right? You're just feeling weak. You might not finish the whole workout. You might not go the 1 hour, the 1 hour 30 that you might have in your head. And so you already tick off the task just by finishing an exercise. And theoretically and logically, you've already made progress in that day because you went to the gym and you lifted weights. So it's progress nonetheless. But if you just did implement the 2-minute rule plus all the goal splitting that we did, right? It's going to eliminate so much of the stress, which is the cue for the habit of procrastination. Limit stress and you will limit procrastination from happening. You're going to eliminate procrastination from being your habit. You don't want the habit, and so break that habit loop. And then what I want you to do is, if it's any intellectual work that has to do with your business or your studies, right? You're trying to actually put some brain power into your studies, right? Then do it first thing in the morning. Literally wake up, have like a 10-minute, 15-minute routine, 30 minutes max, and then get straight into work. There's no point meditating and journaling and cold showering and doing all that and affirmations and whatever, reading out your goal 10 times every morning, 10 times every night. Sure, all that is going to help you, but it's not as helpful as actually just doing the work. And so what I do is I wake up, take a quick shower, pray my morning prayer, and then just get straight into work. Sometimes I don't even brush my teeth before I do my work. Yeah, I sound unhygienic and whatever, but I get more work done than what I used to do. And so if it helps me, if it works, then it works. Sure, I might have stinky breath, but I get work done. I'll just brush my teeth when I'm done my work. I'm not saying you don't have to brush your teeth, but I'm just emphasizing the point that stop having such a complicated morning routine, because it's gonna sap so much willpower out of you, and that willpower you could have used for your work. Like sometimes I just use so much willpower to just get and do the cold shower, and then once I'm outside the cold shower, I'm like, bro, I already feel so like unmotivated and whatever. Like, you want me to do like a 2 hour work session now, and so you can't have unrealistic expectations for every day of your life, especially if you're trying to jump from a person who never did any work, who was never doing any of these meditation, journaling habits, whatever, and then going straight into like I'm a business CEO, I'm Andrew Huberman, and I do have a 1 hour morning routine, and then I work for 10 hours straight a day. You can't do that. And so you have to eliminate the stress and the barrier to entry to doing the tasks that you need to do, the most impactful tasks towards your goals. And so when you think about the most impactful tasks that you can do every day to get to your goal for your academics and getting that GPA, or for your fitness and getting that muscle, or for your business and making that money, then do them first thing in the morning before you lose your energy, before everyone else wakes up, and then you get distracted. And so wake up 2 hours before you have to go to school, or before you go to uni, before you go to work. If you start school at 9, then wake up at 6, then 6 to 8 actually do some work, and then you can go to school. So that's what I do. Today I have uni at 9, I got to uni at 7, and now I'm literally just recording for 2 hours before I have to go to class. Like you can see, I'm literally in my campus. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Let's put this back. Regardless, I'm trying to say, all I said, what I said to myself to actually get myself to come here at 7 in the morning is, I just record one video. But I'm already done this video, and I'm going to record one more. I'm going to record maybe 2 more, 3 more. But just the fact that I made it so low barrier to actually just get here, get myself here, wake up like 6 a.m. in the morning, and actually drive all the way here 2 hours early, is just not making it super stressful. And so if you do the same with your other goals, and it's going to become so much easier to not procrastinate. And so I kept repeating a lot of points in this video, but that's exactly what I did to break the habit of procrastination. And it was not easy. It took time. But these methods and tactics definitely helped me to break my habit of procrastination. And so that's pretty much all I had to say in this video. And if you guys actually want to learn more on how to become productive and exactly how to stop procrastination, break your bad habits in your life, learn how to build good habits in your life, then I literally just launched a whole community, a school community, where I teach men exactly how to do that, especially young men that are in high school, university, they're trying to get their life in order. And so I'm making a community where people help each other exactly how to do that, and I have a bunch of courses, calls in there that are dedicated exactly on solving that problem, tackling that problem. And right now, it's currently free right now. And so if you join, you're going to be entered for free forever. And yeah, I hope you guys actually take action. Link in the description for the community. And I'll catch you boys later. Stop procrastinating. Peace out.